little bastard crapped on my scale. Yep, that's about how our Monday feels. Yeah, so we have a storm coming through, or at least a system coming through, and it was supposed to be all rain. By us, it started snowing, and like the big wet flakes, and it turned into a mess. And CF 913 is still bagging, but to her AI date, she was due yesterday, but she did not have a bull. She did not have bull access until June 2nd. That is one thing I definitely try and take notes of the last few years, is when does our bull go in? Just so I have it, because if she potentially does not stick to an AI date, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I saw the bull following her on this day, so maybe she got bred that day. So at least I have an idea of like a backup time of when she's due. So I've got this little pile here. I actually want to try and get this pile into where those cows are. So I'm going to let the cows out, and hopefully they don't wreck a gate or wreck the pile. Come on. There you go. Hey, that's my camera. That's my camera. Hey, that's my camera. You guys are supposed to be running out of here like wildfire. Whew. That's always fun. Gotta start working on again. It's been a couple weeks. Hey, happy hump day. It is Wednesday. Just got done looking at our cows and heifers that need to calve, and they're really making us wait, but they are getting close. I mean, they are definitely making some progress. Calves are going to get another bale of stalks tonight. We put 2 in there last night. It was really sloppy, and it's not horrible in there, but now that they've got those 2 bales kind of churned in, put another one on top, and it should be pretty nice for quite a few days. So I was checking the cameras this morning, and it was maybe like 3:30 or whatever, and there was nothing going on in the barn. Then when my alarm went off at 4:30, when I come out and I'll check the barn, there was this little guy. And I'm glad Mom was where she was, because she's a really good mom, YC913. But she is one of those she's a little feisty at calving time. But she is basically right on time. That should be an eagle calf, and it is a bull. And she raises really, really good calves. So he is sticking around. I am running into a little bit of an issue with our little twin bull calf. Yesterday, I noticed he was a little off, a little slow, a little lethargic. So I went in and checked on him, and a little under the weather. I think with his slow start, possibly a little lack of immunity, that little bit of a slower go. I think he might have gotten a little tick of pneumonia, a little raspy in his breathing. He's a little lethargic. So I've been giving him a little bit of meds, trying to feed him. He fights the bottle, which doesn't shock me, but he's not getting super skinny yet or anything like that, but he's a little slow, little down. So gave him some meds last night, gave him a little bit of meds this morning, to hopefully knock that out real quick, and we'll check on him this afternoon. So hopefully he turns around pretty quick, but yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on that. Hey, how's it going? It is Thursday afternoon, and yes, we did have that new calf this morning. He looks to be doing really good. He is quite a difference in size. He's an eagle son, and part of the reason I chose eagle for 913 is eagle is a much smaller frame size, because that YC913, she tends to throw a lot of frame. So I wanted to bring that down just a little bit, and I think eagle would do the trick. But he's definitely a bigger calf than we're used to, at least for this season. So it'll be interesting to see what he looks like when we get him on the scale. I think he's probably about 90 pounds, which out of a cow is perfect. And Dad's continuing to haul manure, which is really nice. We went down and looked at that hay field that we're spreading it onto. Just after all the moisture and stuff, wanted to make sure that we weren't gonna dig in or nothing. And that's how we put a second crop bale down the chute. First crop, I can still roll those down. Those aren't too bad with the 4x5s. 4x5s and grassy hay, not too bad. They're not, we don't have roto cut. So they're not too bad because they're like 900 to 1,000 pounds, somewhere in there. Hey, happy Friday. And I'm just gonna check out the cows quick. Been watching these things all day. A lot of tail twitching, but no action. So what is the deal? Today we'll also tag and weigh that eagle bull. That's gonna be a little bit different doing that because Mom is a little bit of a pistol. She's not bad. You just got to deal with her a little bit different. And in the barn, as long as we have the space, I can either flip her into a different pen, shut the gate, and then she's kind of out of our hair completely feed her some ground feed, distract her, all that kind of good stuff. Apparently, Dad needs some diesel fuel, so we'll do that first. So I'm going to tag and weigh our little bull calf over here, who looks like he's just waking up from a nap. I had a really good idea come in from E.A.B Farms. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'll leave a link in the description. Really good content. Actually, a couple ideas I've gotten from him already is there's a good chance we're gonna try teff grass this year. There's a field that we're just not sure what we want to do with yet. So we might try teff. We've been at least looking at it. But go check out his channel and give him a little bit of support too. But the idea he gave me was I had gotten that scale, the digital scale. We get birth weights, weaning weights, and yearling weights, at least on bulls. And sometimes we try to remember to do it on heifers. Sometimes we're kind of in a hurry and we don't get the yearling weights on heifers. But if you don't have the info, you can't necessarily track it, can't really see where you're at, that kind of stuff. But his idea was doing the weight on the scale and then comparing it to a hoof tape. It's simple, it's easy, and they're very inexpensive. We actually used to do hoof tapes when we first started weights, and I think the nice thing about it is if you're just trying to get an idea and just to try and see where you're at as far as birth weight goes, I know like on the tag they say like it's an easy way to see like, hey, is this going to be a big calf for birthing and stuff like that. It's definitely a good tool, but E.A.B Farms, his idea was take this guy and compare it to the scale. Now, just doing it one time is definitely not going to work. So this little experiment is going to take a little while. But as calves start hitting the ground a little bit more frequently now that our heifers are kind of ending and cows are going to start picking up in about a week. So I'm going to try and remember to do this, and I'll just note it in my notes app what the tape weight was and what the scale weight was. And then in a few weeks, maybe a month or so, I'll just give you guys an update. First, we have to distract Mom. Probably. Holy shit. This one does not get any smaller the closer you get. All right, 104 on the scale. So this says 89 pounds on the tape. There you go, a little num-num for you. So a little bigger than I thought. So yeah, that was a little different. He definitely didn't get any smaller the closer I got to him. So I was not expecting 104. I was thinking more like 90. But a lot of leg. And that's honestly pretty typical for her as far as calf size. So not really too surprising. So he was kind of a little bit of a hoss to move around. But little bastard crapped on my scale. I'll have to wipe that off. But for our first sample, 104 on the scale and 89 on the tape. Yeah, I definitely like that idea to compare those two to see, you know, what's that floating average. And this being an eagle calf, she's a mature cow. She's like 8 years old. So this size calf, it doesn't really surprise me. Again, she spit it out, no problem. But he is long body. He's got a little more leg to him. So the fact that he's a little bit heavier, not a big surprise. We're probably still going to keep him as a bull, even at 104. But I probably would definitely not recommend him for heifers. But the other cool thing is this year, I'm going to get all our keeper bulls are going to get DNA tested. We're not going to let one slip through this time. So yeah, because then that'll put a little bit more data to back up those numbers. So yeah, good first try. So we're coming into the end of the day, end of the week. Got a lot of manure hauled this week. Had another calf, really nice bull calf, a little on the husky side. But we'll take it, we'll keep them. Hope you liked the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Maybe go grab a fish fry. And thanks for coming along.